Hello, my name is Tom. I'm with Strange's Florist Greenhouse and Garden Center, and today we'd like to talk about Japanese beetles. It's one of those issues that you probably have right now in and around your house. Japanese beetles love Jap maples, they love roses, they get on cherry trees, fruit trees, and they start eating away at the foliage itself. I'm sure you all start noticing it. And we're right at the height of the season. It's going to last throughout July and into August is the Japanese beetle season. Japanese beetles been around for about 100 years now. They ended up coming over from Asia 100 years ago. The problem with Japanese beetles is, other than the fact that they're going to feed on your foliage, there's a two-part issue. The one part is the Japanese beetle itself, Japanese beetle. The other is actually the grub. Because the Japanese beetle, what they do is they'll come out, they'll feed this time of year on your foliage. After they're done feeding for 2 months, they'll lay eggs in the ground. Those eggs will hatch out as a grub that will feed on your grass root system throughout the fall of the year. They'll overwinter, and then next spring and summer, they'll hatch out as adults again. So you have two issues with that. You know, the one way that you know that you actually have grubs in your yard is you'll end up getting moles. If you have moles that are tearing up your yard, that means you got grubs. That means you're going to get Japanese beetles. So it's kind of a twofold life cycle. So anyway, how to solve some of that problems that you have with Japanese beetles. What you really need to do is just to try to start cutting down on the population. So when they're out flying around feeding on your trees and shrubs and bushes, what you can do during that period of time, what you want to do is you can use a dust, like a 7 dust on them, and that'll take care of them. If you wanted something a little bit more organic, you can use neem oil. You can just spray it on the Japanese beetles that are feeding on your plants, and that also will knock them down. And it comes in other types of little sprays, just all depending on what type of bushes you have, how much of an area you need to cover. And what you need to do is just come in and see us, and we'll kind of recommend what is the best option for you to kind of kill the beetles that are actually feeding on your plants. The other thing that some people like and some people don't would be traps. Assuming you can see this trap here. I personally like traps, and sometimes people don't like them because they claim that it just draws them in. But every Japanese beetle I feel that I capture or kill or eliminate, what's going to happen is they're not going to lay their eggs, and we're going to slowly cut that cycle. So I like putting out traps. The key to putting out traps is you don't set the trap right next to the bush that you're trying to actually keep them away. You take the trap and you set it to the farthest corner of your yard, and therefore you're drawing them away from your valuable plants. There's a scent lure that's actually included when you buy one of these traps, and the best thing to do is to use it on some type of little stand, and you can have 1, 2 different parts of your yard. But again, I like actually using traps because I am cutting down on the population. So the next thing to think about, this is going to take care of the Japanese beetles that are out there feeding right now. No matter what, they're going to lay eggs. End of the season, they'll lay eggs in your yard, and then in turn those eggs will hatch out as grubs that will actually start feeding on your root system. So the best time though to come back and actually to really knock down the population of Japanese beetles and grubs is in the fall of the year. Come fall, and I'm saying it'd probably be late September, 1st of October, that egg is hatched out, the grub has come back to the surface, and it's feeding on your roots then. And what I want you to do at that time of the year is you're going to come in there and you're going to use a granular grub control. Milky Spore is one you can use, which is an all organic, natural type product. And we sell a couple other types of products also. It'll knock down those grubs, and therefore you probably will eliminate 70, 80, 90% of the Japanese beetle problem that you'll have next year. It's also, a lot of times it's really nice because if you're living in a suburban neighborhood where you have multiple homes, if your neighbors are doing the same thing, then everybody's cutting down on that population. So that's the key to controlling Japanese beetles. Assortment of products are available at both locations at our West Broad Street and or Mechanicsville Pike. If you have any questions at all, feel free just to stop by or give us a call. We're more than happy to help you in order to control this problem.